Remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel at NDN TV Nigeria. Click on the subscribe button and be the first to get notifications.
Eligible voters will go to the polls to elect a new governor to pilot the affairs of the oil-rich Bayelsa state for the next 4 years come November 11, 2023. In this report, our correspondent takes a look at the track records of front-runners and their chances of victory in the Bayelsa governorship race.
Governorship elections are usually a big deal in Nigeria, particularly in oil-rich states of the Niger Delta that have become the coveted prize for politicians and their political parties seeking political dominance in the region. Bayelsa State, which prides itself as the glory of all lands and the Jerusalem of all Ijaw-speaking peoples in Nigeria, has had its fair share of keenly contested governorship elections over the years, and this year will definitely not be an exception. In the race for Creek Haven, the seat of power in Bayelsa State, are pretenders and real contenders. Unlike the dark horses in the race, those in the second category of governorship candidates are well known to Bayelsans and are seeking political power to strut their stuff in the governance of the state. Without a shadow of doubt, incumbent Governor Dike, former governor of the state and immediate past Minister of State for Petroleum Resources, Chief Timmy Silva, and Engineer Udengs Eradiri, a two-time commissioner in the state, are frontline candidates in the forthcoming election. Judging from their body language, all three frontrunners are upbeat about victory as they hope to unveil to the voting public their individual track records, achievements and unique selling points in the course of ongoing campaigns. To help Bayelsans make an informed choice of their next governor, it may suffice to reintroduce the frontrunners in no order of importance. Senator Dike is incumbent governor of Bayelsa State, seeking a second term in office under the platform of the People's Democratic Party, PDP. Senator Dike is a former commissioner of sports in Bayelsa State, a one-time member of the House of Representatives and the Nigerian Senate. He was candidate of the PDP in the November 2019 governorship election, in which David Lyon of the All Progressives Congress APC emerged winner and was issued a certificate of return by the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC. However, David Lyon's election was nullified by the Supreme Court on account of alleged certificate forgery by his running mate, Senator Dike Eremienyo. In November 2020, the Apex Court affirmed that Senator Dike was the duly elected governor of Bayelsa State, following the withdrawal of appeals by 6 political parties challenging his election. As a result of Senator Dike's political fortune, he is now widely referred to as a miracle governor. Since he assumed office on the 14th of February 2020, Senator Dike has been able to assert himself as governor of Bayelsa State with his laudable policies that have attracted rapid, even and balanced development to the state. To begin with, Governor Dike's infrastructure development projects are massive and unrivaled throughout the history of Bayelsa State, and they are mostly felt in the area of road construction. Senator Dike's signature road projects are the 22.2-km Yenegua-Oporoma Road, 42-km Sagbama-Ekirimon Road, and the 21-km Nembe-Bras Road, all of which are being constructed to connect isolated coastal communities across 3 senatorial districts of Bayelsa State by road. Others are Phase 2 of the 10.8-km Gloryland Drive in Yenegua, Igbogene Ebele Road, the remodeled Edepie Etegwe Tombia Roundabout, and several other road projects located in the nooks and crannies of Bayelsa State. There's no gainsaying the fact that Senator Dike will be showcasing his many achievements as he goes about soliciting for votes to realize his re-election bid. Former Governor Timmy Silva, who was in office for a single term, is also a force to reckon with in the Bayelsa State governorship race. Chief Timmy Silva, who hails from Ukbuama in Brass local government area, is a grassroots politician with a strong political base that can trounce any political opponent during elections. Chief Silva had proved his mettle as a man of the people on 2 occasions when he locked horns with Seriake Dickson, who managed to snatch victory from the jaws of imminent defeat. In the 2019 governorship election, Chief Silva, who was not in the governorship race, gave his blessings to David Lyon, who had an impressive outing at the time. Like incumbent Governor Doye Diri, Chief Silva will have to lay bare his achievements to justify his ambition of taking a second shot at the governorship of Bayelsa State. While he was in the saddle as governor, Chief Silva had initiated and implemented some laudable policies that culminated in human capacity and infrastructure development in Bayelsa State. However, available records show that Silva's administration paid more attention to human capacity development in its bid to transform Bayelsa State from the backwater of socio-economic underdevelopment to an economically viable state. Some of his projects include building, completion and equipping of Bayelsa State Technical School at Elebele, design, building and completion of Bishop Demary Grammar School, training and sponsorship of over 210 female Bayelsans in skills acquisition programs affiliated to the pet project of the First Lady at the time, Mrs. Alayingi Silva. Others include tertiary education scholarships provided for over 400 Bayelsans in the UK, US, Canada and South Africa, prompt payment of Bayelsa students' bursary and scholarship allowances, sponsorship and training of 200 Bayelsans in plastic processing and utilities for absorption into the Bayelsa Plastic Factory, accreditation of over 5 faculties in the state-owned Niger Delta University, and establishment of the Nigerian Law School in Yenegua, just to mention a few. Engineer Udengs Eradiri, a new entrant in the governorship race, is another formidable candidate. Engineer Eradiri, candidate of Labour Party in the forthcoming governorship election, is not new to Bayelsa politics. He is a 2-time commissioner in Bayelsa State and former president of the Ijaw Youth Council, who has the loyalty and support of the youths in his governorship ambition. Engineer Eradiri, a former special assistant on youth to the interim administrator of the Niger Delta Development Commission, NDDC, has deep wells of resources dwelling inside of him and has served Bayelsa State in several capacities. He served at various times as a member of the State's Asset and Property Recovery Committee, State Security and Economic Development Committee, State Income Expenditure Transparency Initiative, and Secretary of the State Employment Verification Committee. Engineer Eradiri, a graduate of Production Engineering from the University of Benin, is a recipient of an Honorary Doctor of Philosophy degree from the European American University in Dominican Republic. He is a member of the Council for Regulation of Engineering in Nigeria, COREN, as well as the Nigerian Society of Engineers, NSE. The youthful and energetic governorship hopeful is a certified peace negotiator with many years' involvement in youth activism and community development. As things stand, all 3 frontrunners in the forthcoming Bayelsa governorship election are eminently qualified and have the requisite experience to govern the state. However, the state they intend to govern has an unenviable record of many cycles of violence during elections, making it incumbent on these 3 men, who in the incoming weeks will sign a peace accord, to ensure that the forthcoming election is conducted with minimal violence. This demands that the 3 gladiators will have to conduct themselves decorously, refraining from abusive language and unguarded statements and actions that could inflame violence before, during, and after the polls.
Inside the Niger Delta,